Welcome to this course on how to use ClickBank to post your own products that you want resold by affiliates and have success doing that by recruiting many affiliates who will promote your product. So in this course, I'm going to walk you through how to upload and set up your product, and very importantly, how the ClickBank algorithm works so that you can influence their algorithm to promote your brand and your product to new affiliates who want to resell your product for a commission. That way, you'll get a constant supply of new affiliates promoting your products, and this can be the only marketing strategy you use if you get it right, because as long as you have an army of affiliates promoting your products, well, that's the fuel for your company's growth. So what I'm going to show you is how to, first of all, make your product attractive to affiliates. And then I'm going to show you what metrics the algorithm looks for on ClickBank. And then I'm going to show you exactly how to influence that algorithm internally on ClickBank and then externally by going to other bloggers, influencers, and getting them to get visibility for your product so that your product gets some momentum in ClickBank. And once your product gets momentum in ClickBank and get people reselling it, it will stay and keep on continuing with that momentum and keep on recruiting new affiliates to resell your product. And that's going to be the winning formula for making your products that you post to resell successful on ClickBank. So welcome, and let's begin. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to sign up for ClickBank. ClickBank is an affiliate site which does not require you to have a website, so anyone can sign up. And people have actually emailed me and they said, I cannot sign up. And it usually is something that they did wrong. And all you have to do in that case is email support@clickbank.com and they will help you. In all cases, that was actually solved when people could not sign up, because really this site does not require you to have a website. So here we go. I'm going to walk you through exactly through the sign up and how to actually get affiliate products to promote right away. So you click create account right here. This is if you have no account, no experience with it. Obviously create account, fill out your information. I'm going to do the same. Just make sure that you follow all of their password requirements, and then your join button will be grayed out because you have to look at their terms and conditions. So you look at that, you scroll all the way, and obviously you should read it, but you say accept, and then you're going to be able to join ClickBank, and you click join. They have some training that you can do. For now, let's say, no, I got this on my own. And then they want you to complete your profile. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to put your recovery email, that's optional, your address. Then you're going to add your payment information. And what you're going to do, you want, let's say you want to sell digital products, whatever your revenue is. I'm going to fill out my tax ID, and I'm not going to show you that, obviously. But in your case, once you fill it out, this save button is going to be enabled, and you're going to click save. After you've clicked save, it's going to say your profile has been created successfully or updated successfully. Very good. You're going to go here and expand this area, and it's going to give you this option. I think this only comes up for people in the United States. All you have to do is just some law that got passed, and they want you to be aware of it. If this doesn't appear for you, great. If it appears for you, you just say expand, download this, and then it's going to disappear. Then you want to create an account because you're new here, supposedly. Create account. If you want to sell product, you're going to be an affiliate, and you give yourself a nickname. And you can have multiple of these for different accounts. Let's say with one nickname, you sell health products, and with another nickname, you sell marketing products. So this way you can kind of manage your accounts. Most people just need one to get started anyway. So you say create your account, and I'm just going to create another account. So you'll say create an account. And if you're promoting products as a vendor, you can just have a vendor account, but you can also have a combination. Doesn't matter. You'd say vendor and affiliate, and you give yourself a nickname like Canadian X7, maybe something more descriptive in your case. And then you will click on that account, and it will take you right here. And what you really want is to get to the marketplace. It's right here on the very, very top. You see this link to marketplace. I'll make it a little bigger for you. And here's where you find products. So you'll click business and you'll find some products. And in the next videos, we're going to begin exploring what these products are all about, what are all these measurements and metrics, and we'll start to make it clear for you and move on. But now you know how to set up your ClickBank. There's one very confusing, but once you understand it, very helpful concept, and that is gravity inside ClickBank. This is a ClickBank concept only. This doesn't exist anywhere else, but it's extremely helpful once we understand it. So here we have gravity as a filter. It's the first filter. It's important. And also you have gravity on different products. For example, some products have gravity 0, but if I switch it to like 5, and I do my search, then you'll see that different gravity can have a number, like some number with a decimal. What does that mean? It's really confusing. So I'm going to show you official documentation from ClickBank, and we're going to go over exactly how to interpret this number. It's a little bit complicated. It has to do with statistics, but it's easy. It will be easy once you understand it. So let's go to the documentation. You can find this documentation on www.cbgraph.com/_files/clickbank-gravity.pdf. We're going to look at this, and it's a 15-page document. I'm going to just give you the highlights. What's important here is to understand that it's a measure of how many affiliates are successfully selling the product now. So other affiliates who are browsing for products are going to be able to gauge how successful they will be based on historic evidence of other affiliates. So if you have a low score, that means that likely other affiliates won't start reselling your product as a vendor, right? If a vendor has a low gravity score, then other affiliates are going to be discouraged. It's a sign of quality of the vendor. But if a vendor has a good gravity score, then it's going to convince affiliates to get your product. So this gravity is going to be extremely important to raise it. And the way they calculate it, it's based on recency. So if one affiliate sells one product yesterday, they get a score of 1. But if it's a couple of days, the score goes to 0.96, 0.92, 0.88, and so on and so on. So as soon as that affiliate makes another sale, the score goes back to 1. And what happens is if you have multiple affiliates, it's a sum. You see affiliate 1, affiliate 2, affiliate 3. Then the gravity score is a sum of all the affiliates reselling it. So there's a lot of affiliates reselling it, and they're selling it successfully on a regular basis. You'll have a healthy score, maybe in the double digits, maybe even in the triple digits. But if you have a score of like below 1 or something like that, then it's a sign to potential affiliates that, hey, something is not right. Either the product is new or the product is not selling well. Something is not right. There's a red flag there. So like a low gravity score should be interpreted by an affiliate as a red flag. And your job as a vendor is to raise your gravity score. And we're going to be talking about how to raise your gravity score in the next videos coming up in the course. So don't worry, you'll know how to raise your gravity score. It's not easy. It isn't easy, but it's feasible and there are paths to it. What I want to also show you in the documentation is some graphs. So for example, if an affiliate has one sale of your product, then see you get gravity of 1, but then it goes down and you get a very low gravity and it doesn't look good. Then of course, if you get a spike and a refund, that also looks very bad because the gravity goes down. But if you have a couple of spikes, like a couple of sales, gravity goes up, but then it goes down, another sale, then it goes down, another sale. It's also not so great. And then once you start having more sales, your gravity score will keep up. And what you want to get to is something like a lot of sales, right? This is frequent sales. And then what happens is when you get multiple affiliates, see if one of them is selling well, it has a score of 1, then you get a second affiliate, he has another score of 1. Together they sum up to 2. And then eventually they give you a big score. Now this graph here is the case of if you pre-plan your launch and say you recruit a lot of affiliates from maybe outside of ClickBank and you reach out to them individually and say, on day 1, I'm going to launch my product, promote it. So on day 1, they promote your product and you get tremendous sales. But then over time, they kind of stop promoting your products and your sales go down, down, down. That's a problematic graph, right? That's what you don't want to happen. What you want to happen is the beginning of this graph Definitely, you want to recruit affiliates, or you want to have your own marketing channels where instead of reaching out to affiliates individually, where you maybe have like a list and you just send an announcement to your list saying, hey, I have an affiliate program, something. But then what happens is once your gravity score is up and affiliates inside ClickBank begin to see you, then affiliates inside ClickBank, if they keep selling your product gravity won't go down, and you'll stay up. And as long as your gravity is staying up, you're going to be able to naturally recruit affiliates right from ClickBank without outreach in an automatic fashion. And this is really the sweet spot of ClickBank. When ClickBank promotes you because you have a good gravity score, and new affiliate resellers find you automatically. This is the passive income dream, because affiliates find you automatically. The affiliates sell your products to consumers. Consumers buy your products. You collect commission. And if it's a digital product, you don't really have to do much work or any work. You just sit back, and the affiliates are the ones who promote it, and ClickBank is the one who keeps giving you more and more affiliate resellers. And that's the magic of ClickBank. This is where ClickBank is magical for a reseller, for a vendor. If you don't get a good gravity score, then ClickBank is going to keep you struggling. It's going to make you maybe a little bit of sales, maybe nothing, but it's going to be struggle. When your gravity score goes up, that's where you make a lot of money and a lot of passive income. The thing is, to get this initial spike, you will have to do a lot of the pre-work. And that's what we're going to focus now, is how to do this work. We're going to spend some time in this course exploring how to recruit affiliates on your own manually, so that you can get a high gravity score, so that then the recruitment of affiliates becomes automated. That's going to be our path. In this video, we're going to put ourselves into the shoes of a potential affiliate who might resell our products, for the purpose of understanding what their mind goes through, so that we can create an offer that is perfect for them to notice us as a vendor and to begin selling our products. So what happens? Let's say I am an affiliate and I have a blog in the fitness niche. So I just picked the popular random topic. So I chose fitness and I put that, you see, into the fitness here. If you're an affiliate, you have a few options for how to search for products. For example, you can go to the categories. The categories will be right here, and you can browse the categories like this, or you can use the search. Let's examine what happens when people use the search, because the search is so prominent and many people find products through search. And it's actually easier to rank in search when you're starting out because of keywords. If you use the right keywords, see, like fitness, and the keywords that come up have to do with fitness. So if you are a vendor and you correctly choose the right keywords, then you might be able to stand out. So a keyword like fitness is very competitive. So you'll have good sellers, existing sellers, vendors that will compete with you, and it's not easy to outcompete them. Of course, it will be in the weight loss niche. This is a very competitive keyword, and so it's not going to be particularly easy to compete with people. We'll examine the results in a second. So what you want to do is maybe use some long tail keywords in your product listing. For example, weight loss for women. Okay, right away, it's a little bit more specific. You have more keywords. So if your offer that you made was specifically for women, you would do well to put for women in your title, so that you can get discovered like that. See, when I searched it, the products that come up for women are different products that come up. And you can see also that this particular product, the second one, doesn't have for women in the title, but it has it in that little description. So the description also should use keywords. It's very important. So you have a lot of keywords to work with, and that means you got to be very smart right away about what you write in your title and description. But besides that, let's get back to exploring the search results. So let's say we are an affiliate and we're looking for products to sell that have to do with weight loss for women. What do we look for? First of all, we're trying to determine if the listings will be good. And how do we tell? So first of all, you can click on the product. I'm going to click here, and you actually can land on the sales page, and you can tell if you like the sales page. Now, this sales page, it's a typical affiliate landing page. It's super long. It's typical. We don't really know how well it will convert. So there is a way to tell, of course, and that is the hint for that is the gravity score. So when we get back here, the gravity score is 1.19. What does that mean? That means that there's more than one affiliate, because one perfect affiliate just gives a score of 1. So there's maybe 1 or 2 affiliates or 3, and they're not selling particularly amazingly. So this is like not a great product to sell, because you only have a history of a few affiliates, and the average sale is not that big. And what you'll also notice here in these little icons, what I would look for is something like this little thing that is called recurring billing. You see that little, like, it looks like it's recycling, but it's not recycling. The recurring billing means that it's something you can get paid on continuously. That's a really great benefit of offers if it's not just a one-time sale, but it goes on and on. As long as a person is a buyer, the affiliate keeps getting paid, and so it becomes very attractive for affiliates to promote those products. So here we don't have that. There's not a lot. There's no rebill. There's not a lot of signs that this will be a good product to sell. So we would move on. Now here's another one. Has the second one. We'll click on this one. We'll see how it looks like. The other one, I don't know if it was off-putting for you, but that before and after image, it was kind of off-putting for me. And for that reason, this one is a little bit less off-putting. It has a video here. It's not well made, because here you have some text that's like impossible to read. So who knows what this is, but it's a little better. I'm not going to watch the video, but if you were considering this, you should watch the video. But let's go back to ClickBank. This does have better metrics. You see the gravity is 2.91. You have higher sales. So it has better metrics, which means you'll make more money from this than the other one. That's a sign. Can we tell the future of how much you'll make? Of course, nobody can predict the future, but you have some metrics from the past that give you a hint. And here's another one. Very, very new product, nothing. No sales, no gravity, totally new. If it's totally new, I wouldn't give up on it entirely, but I would scrutinize and examine it closely. And I would just keep going and going. Here's this gravity of 55. That's amazing, right? They have rebill total, rebill 6%. So it looks good. The average sale is not that low. So it's looking pretty good. Let's click on it and see. Let's see what this is. It's another one of those affiliate landing pages. Make of it what you will. It's relatively standard affiliate page. So much text. I get very put off by these myself, but these are typically kind of prevalent. It baffles me in a way, but these things seem to work. So this will be an interesting one to promote. The only issue would be for the affiliate is whether they can actually make the sales, if their audience would like this, right? Because we search for women. This is not clear if it's for women. It says 3 high converting offers for the male niche, so who knows? But anyway, we've got that. And then what's going to happen is you have a lot of products. You have like 20 pages of this product. So you have like hundreds of products as an affiliate to choose from. And what you want to do as the vendor is make keyword heavy, but also compellingly written title and little description of your products. And also what you want to do is create a vendor spotlight. We cover that elsewhere in the course. So vendor spotlight, see some of them. So you can click on it and you can see who the vendor is. So if we go back to that popular one, you can see who this vendor is. So you can kind of tell a little bit about them, their statistics. There's no announcements necessarily. So not a whole lot to tell. You get a little bit of a blurb, but that's the blurb from the vendor page. And also, as the affiliate, you have options to narrow down the products. There are too many to choose from, right? So you want to choose some that have gravity probably. You want to choose some large average sale, total rebuild. That's all fine. In your case, when you are starting out, all your metrics here will be zeros. So in the beginning, what you're banking, of course you want to raise these, of course. Over time, you want to raise these, and they will go up if you stay with it. But in the beginning, those are not options for you. So in the beginning, as a vendor, your hope is that they keep everything default like zeros. So they keep everything default, and the way you can attract affiliates right away is through long tail keywords here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I would do that with my listing, and that's going to be in the next video. In this video, we're going to begin setting up our affiliate sales page for our product that we're going to recruit affiliates to resell the products. So it's not to sell the products directly and make money, right? But it's actually to recruit other people. So we're going to be putting our product on ClickBank so that other people can begin to sell it as affiliates, and we can recruit many, many affiliates to sell our products. And the product that we're going to sell is this particular one. It's an online course. It's hosted on Thinkific. I also have this course on Udemy, but in this case, we're hosting it on Thinkific. This particular page has nothing much to do with Udemy. You can see people can, if they click buy, they can go and check out right here, right to PayPal. So there's no need to go to Udemy. And we are going to begin promoting this product. So to do that, we're going to go into ClickBank. This is my dashboard, and we are vendors. When you have a product that you want to promote and get it onto ClickBank so other people can promote it, you're a vendor. So you go to, on the top right, you click the vendor settings, and then I'm going to make this a little bigger. So you go my products, and from the products, you want to add a new product. You can add a few things, but in this case, the simplest one is to add a new product. I'm going to make the screen a little smaller just so that it doesn't look too big for me when I'm doing it. And in this course, we're doing a one-time digital product. And they're going to give us a really long and annoying form. We're going to go through it. The category is, let's say, video. Item number 1, this is something that they create for you. Product title, that's important. That course is titled Entrepreneurship for Engineers. So that's what we're going to do. The language is English. The image, we should upload one. Add a new image. You need an image that's 100 pixels by 100 pixels. So you upload that. If you don't have one like that, you can use online programs that are free to reduce image size, just basically cropping. Once you have your image, then you need to add the pitch URL. I'm going to paste the URL of my page there. And then I'm going to say the same thing here. The currency is going to be in dollars. I'm going to say it's $100 product. You can change this because it's a course, so people are used to $10 courses. So I might change that to now it says $100 on the course site. I'm going to say 10. Commission, I'm going to say something generous. 25% is a little low, so I'm going to say custom, and I'm going to give it like 75% is typically the max. So I'm going to give it a 75% commission rate just because I want people to jump on this. And you can leave the checkbox checked here, allow commission tiers to override the settings. For people who are major sellers, they have like better commission tiers, but like you can just leave that for now because we're just trying to get the initial people on it. Then the next thing is you have to specify how the people are going to get the product once they buy it. This is for the consumers. And you can upload some kind of a file. So if it's a PDF ebook, it's really easy. You just upload that file and that's it. If it's a course, you have to give them somehow entrance to the course, like a coupon. So what you would do is maybe upload a file stating how to get the free coupon. I'm going to upload a file, select the file, and I have this ClickBank affiliate delivery. I'm going to upload that, save upload, and then you say save and request approval. Before you can request approval, you have to select a main category and subcategory for your site. So for me, it will be like business and investing, could be e-business, e-marketing, and the subcategory will be, let's say, general. Then I'm going to enter the target URL. I'm going to say save changes, and then it's going to ask me for more information about the product. So please give a brief overview of the product. I type this in for you so you don't have to wait for me to type, but it's basically an online course for engineers, teaching engineers how to become entrepreneurs and start a business using their technical skills. You created the product, yes. If you didn't create the product on your own, then you'll have to fill out this area here, answering where you got it. Do the product promotions match all the guidelines? Yes. If your website contains endorsement or testimonials, do they comply? Yes, let's say. You can also say not applicable, so they don't bother with it. Did you make a test purchase? Yes. Please provide any information required to access your product. I'll just say that the buyer will get a link for free access to the course. And we're going to say submit for product approval. Then it says your product approval request has been received. Please allow 3 to 5 days for business processing. So we are essentially waiting for them to get back to us after this. So now in your dashboard here for your product, you'll have this, and you see on the right side, it says pending review. You can check back here to see what the status is, and they'll also send you notifications, of course. With your product, hopefully you're approved and you can begin recruiting affiliates. Before you can submit your product to be promoted as a vendor on ClickBank, you need to have a ClickBank Trust badge on your sales page. And if you see on the very, very top, there's a ClickBank Trust badge. You see that the gray area here, this is what you need to add to your page. It's very easy. I'm going to show you how to generate the little HTML snippet. It's actually JavaScript, and then I'm going to show you how to add it to your page. When you are on your ClickBank dashboard, you go to vendor settings, and from vendor settings, you go to my site. Then on my site, you scroll down to this ClickBank Trust badge thing here, and you say configure settings. And what you can do is see where it's going to appear on your site, how it's going to look. You can kind of ideally make it blend in and not be distracting. And you can just take this script here. Once you have this script, it's a JavaScript script. You copy that with the Control-C, and then you place it on your site. In my case, I placed it on inside the header. I'll show you where it is. This is my page, and for me to have that badge appear there, you see I placed it right above the closing of the HTML head tag, and I literally just pasted it in here. That's all I did. Pasted it, and that badge begins appearing. No problem. If you are not able to edit your own HTML, whoever is the technical person who edits your HTML, then please ask them to add that specifically to the one page, which is your page that you're going to submit as your sales page. That's your destination page for your product that you're going to submit when you apply as a vendor to have affiliates promote this page. So when other affiliates start promoting this page, the page you want promoted, that's the page you add this to. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your payment link. So ClickBank gives you this generic looking link, and the thing that you have to do to it is the vendor is actually your ClickBank nickname. So for me, this would be like Genadinik2. That's just the login name this is my unique identifier. And then the item that you have to replace is the item number that you create. So for me, it will be like 1 or something. So when you create your item, in the item creation form, there is like an item number. And that's how ClickBank knows which product is being sold. So these are the only two things. So when you have this URL, so we started with a generic URL. Now we made it unique to your account and unique to your product. You see, there's two things that had to happen. We had to identify your unique account, and we had to identify the unique product. So we did that. So now we have the URL. I'm going to copy this. And now this is actually the HTML link that goes to your website. Now on your website, you see this is the generic HTML. All you do is Control-V, you paste that. And so now you have the link. And the only thing that you have to change is the text that people will see. This click here to purchase, that's the text people will see before they click on it on your page. So you might want to make it something more interesting. You might want to make it specific to your product, or you can just leave it alone and have it like this. This is optional. This text is optional. The first two items are not optional. They are required. But once you have this, you place this on your site. I'll show you how it will appear. Here is my page. And what I did is I just have a link like this, just like this. See, it has my unique name. And then I have my item number, and that's it. It is just a part of my HTML here as a part of my regular page. And I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to show you how it's going to appear on the page. This link here, that's what we just created. And if I mouse over it, on the very bottom left, you might see, I don't know how it's going to appear for you, but you might see how the very little right here in this bottom left area, you might see the link as it appears. And when you click it, it's going to take you to the ClickBank buy page, which is going to look something like this. Before you can get your products approved as a vendor, you have to test a transaction. And to test a transaction, you need a test credit card, and ClickBank will generate one for you. To do that, from your dashboard, you click on your vendor settings and you go My Site. Then you scroll down all the way to where it says testing your products. You can see I already have some information here. If you haven't done this, you'll have almost no information here. You'll click edit, and what you will do is you will say generate new card number. You see, like I have a link here. In my case, they made a card for me already. You'll have a card number, boom, generated for you. This is a fake credit card number just for the purpose of you being able to test your transaction. So in the next video, we're going to walk through how to test your transaction so that you can make sure, oh, the user can actually buy, and when the user can go to your pitch page, buy, go to the thank you page, then that's one of the prerequisites that will be done. You'll get closer to being able to apply your vendor product. So go ahead and generate your credit card number, your fake credit card number, and in the next video, we'll start to use it. In this video, we're going to test the fake credit card number that ClickBank generates for us so we can test the entire transaction. And when we get no errors in the transaction cycle, then we know that our real customers will be able to enter real credit card numbers and have no problems, no errors. So we've got to test this before they do it. So what you would do is you click this ClickBank buy link. That's my link to my product, for example, and when we click it, you get this order page, and you would fill it out with your credit card number that you had generated in the previous video, which was, this is that fake credit card, that test credit card that ClickBank generates for you. You would enter it there and all the information as a buyer. Okay, so this wouldn't be like necessarily your email address that you registered for ClickBank. This would be your email address as a potential buyer, which in this case can be the same because this is a test transaction. And then what happens when you fill out all of this, for example, you fill out your number, you enter all the test information, you would say pay now, and what you'll get is something like this. This is a thank you page. Thank you for your order. Your statement will show the following. This is that credit card statement that is shown on the person's bank account or something like that, and the receipt for the purchase goes to the email that they registered. You say, the user will say okay, in your case you'll say okay, and this is your thank you page. Thank you for your purchase, payment was approved, there's no errors, and that's it. We've done the test transaction and it worked, which means that all the product information is so far correctly entered, and we created a good buying link without errors, and we're getting closer to satisfying all the requirements ClickBank has so that we can get approved for our vendor product that can get promoted by other affiliates. After you submitted your product to be approved, you can go to vendor settings and you can always check on the approval status of the products. You can go my products and you can click on and you can look at the product and you can see the status. If there are issues, and there usually are issues, especially if it's your first product, they'll email you. You just work with their support, and you can actually use this little area on the right, click it, and then you'll go through the communication. You can communicate with their representative, and they're usually very good about replying. They'll explain to you what needs to be done to fix the problems. You'll fix it, and then you'll be approved. Now, it will be approved, and then your account will say that you need to pay the activation fee. Now, there is a necessary activation fee. It's around $50. If you want to become an affiliate, there is no fee. But if you want to become a vendor to have your products resold, then there is a fee. And it's not a fee you can avoid. So it's just a one-time fee per product. It's not something I can help you change. It's something that they're very strict about. They cannot remove that. So what I do here is you can actually see it from your dashboard. They'll tell you here you have to pay the $50 fee. So you pay here to Click here to pay, and you can pay however you like. I'm going to choose PayPal. After you've paid your activation fee, you'll get a screen like this. It will say your payment has been processed and your account is now active, and you can now begin selling your first product. Perfect. So now you're ready to start recruiting affiliates to promote your offer. Right after our product is approved and we paid for it, we get this page. It says congratulations, and then it says edit your marketplace title and description, and that's what we will do. This information is what affiliate resellers will see when they scroll through products to promote. So you want to make it very attractive for them. And we're going to fill out this form. And by the way, sorry, this is very boring because this is all like filling out one form after another. But we just got to get through this boring part. So the title will be Business Course for Engineers, just so that it's clear. Offer information. I gave the major highlight, teachers, engineers, how to use their technical skills and become business owners and not just employees. And I added some great highlights about it. High conversion, unique product, authoritative course author, and great for technical audiences. Commission, 75%. I want to do this because I want to make it attractive for potential affiliates to promote this, because you're competing with a lot of other vendors and you want to make your offer attractive. Now, affiliate tools URL, we're not concerned with that just yet. Your support email address, I'm just going to put mine. And then I'm going to put the Hoplink URL. The Hoplink is the URL that affiliates will use to be able to eventually track offers. At the end of this URL, they're going to have their affiliate ID so that they can track that the sale was made from their efforts. And then so we say save changes, and it takes us to our vendor settings, and you can see that the marketplace information is filled out for our listing here. What we're going to do is we're going to take the basic listing we created and we're going to make it more keyword heavy. So I'm going to copy this, Control-C, and I'm going to paste it into my Word document, and we're going to play around in this Word document and make this listing incredibly keyword heavy while still being attractive to people. So I'm going to go to the Word document and I'm going to explain to you what's happening here. So this is the current thing that we just copied and pasted. I have some keyword ideas here. We're going to explore that in a second. And more keywords. Here's what I mean by more keywords. Let's actually work here first. So this is a course that we are selling. Yeah. Course has synonyms. And by the way that I'm going to structure this is so that if you have SEO experience and you're good with search and good with keywords, you're fine. You don't need this probably because you're going to be good enough to make this on your own. But if you're a beginner with SEO, look how I'm going to be using common sense, and I'm going to just be using a tiny bit of creativity and understanding what people might be searching just from common sense. And then it will be extremely easy for us to put it all together. So look, if we are targeting the word course, right? We're selling a course. We want affiliates to discover our vendor listing who want to sell courses. So what does that mean? Courses have synonyms. E-learning. It's not an exact synonym, but it kind of makes the same. Training. Maybe workshop. I don't know. Maybe workshop is not exactly right, but learning and training is good. And if you can find similar keywords that kind of mean courses, but just phrased in a different way, that's fantastic. So let's take a look at this title some more. It's for engineers, right? So engineers has synonyms like programmers, developers, and you can see here computer science. I already use IT, computer science. I'm going to paste that to our little database. This is something that I pasted from another existing version of this course. So this is just for us to get ideas. It's a business course for engineers. So business, see, it's for the synonyms for business are entrepreneurship, right? You can also become an entrepreneur using this. And just from my knowledge, it's become an entrepreneur and learn business for non-business people is also actually a really good fit. So I'm just going to take this whole thing and kind of put it into our database here. And when I think about business course for engineers, is there something else? Like maybe software engineers. So I didn't say software, I say for engineers, but I didn't say for software engineers. Just using your imagination and creativity, just think of how potential affiliates who have an audience for software engineers who might be interested in starting a business, what might they search? Maybe they will search for quit 9 to 5. or side hustle. Now, I don't know if the quit 9 to 5 or side hustle is a really fantastic keyword for this situation, but you see how it's just ideas, and then you can evaluate these ideas. Maybe quit 9 to 5 is not a good idea. So if we evaluated it, it had some potential, but in the end, we decided against it. So I'm going to delete it. Side hustle, that too. So you want to just think about whatever you are selling as a vendor. What are the keywords that are related? See, here we have actually a lot of keywords: e-learning, training, programmers, developer, IT, computer science, software engineer, entrepreneur. We already have a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a before and after of our title and description. I'm going to skip you all the editing that I'm going to do, and in a second you'll see the before and after. So this is the before, and poof, you'll see the after. Here I have the after. So you see it has a title. We have from this title, we have a new title. The new title is basically has the word entrepreneurship in it. And I put software engineers instead of engineers. So not a lot more, but you see I filled out the description a little bit, and it has the word e-learning, it has the word education, which is, by the way, something that I kept on trying to be creative and think of things and think of more keywords. And guess what? I got another keyword, which is a great keyword, education, because this is education. So I added the keyword education, and I created this kind of a description that uses keywords like online training, programmers, software engineers, computer science majors, technical skills, start a business. It's almost entire business become business owners, perfect to learn business for non-business people. It's almost entirely keywords, and also some highlights that convince affiliates to sign up. High conversion, unique product, authoritative course creator, things like this. You see, it's has the best of both worlds. It has a lot of keywords, and it tries to be also attractive. And you can have different variations of this. Maybe one idea would be like this, to have the word education or e-learning. So for example, like education. So education for programmers, business and entrepreneurship course for software engineers. That could be it also. So you see, there's a lot of variations, and you can play around with whatever sounds good to you, whatever you think will attract people. Then you'll have the best of both worlds. You'll have the keywords through which you can get discovered, and you'll have an attractive listing, which is the very beginning foundation. It isn't the end. You'll have to do more, but this is the beginning foundational piece of your listing that is made to attract affiliates. So now more affiliates will immediately, as soon as you start ranking for this, it takes ClickBank to a little bit of time to process this change in your title and description. But once it does, you'll start ranking for many, many more keywords people might search, and so many more potential affiliates might see you. Once they see you, they'll at least have the decision: should they promote you or no? Right now, if you're a new product, it's probably still not ready. They'll probably find some flaws. Maybe your landing page is not great. Maybe something else. Maybe you need a vendor spotlight, whatever else. But that's the next steps. This step now, we've got it like really good. So let's move on to the next step. Now that we created our SEO friendly title and description, let's actually go and add it to our product listing, because maybe it's a little too long and maybe we'll need to cut a little bit out of it. And by the way, since I made that video, another creative idea I had was to add the word technology, the keyword technology, because a lot of technology bloggers, they might think like, what kind of products can I promote for technical audiences or people who are interested in technology? So I added this keyword. So let's go into ClickBank and let's update our product listing with this newer title and description. So we go into our vendor settings. So now that we're in vendor settings, let's click on marketplace information and let's change our marketplace listing. What we'll do is we'll go like this, and we'll just paste the title we made, the new one. And we're also going to paste the new description. Now this description has a character limit and it cut a lot out, unfortunately. So we have to choose our keywords. So it cut a lot of the stuff that says high conversion, all that stuff. It cut out things about side hustle, about the 9 to 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a lot of the little extra text that may be not necessary and save some room. So what I ended up doing is this description that fits almost perfectly within the character limit. And it basically says online training that teaches programmers, software engineers, and computer science majors to use technical skills. So you got technical skills and to start a business. I'm going to make a little typo here. To start a business, and then period, quality education. You see the keyword education and e-learning for programmers, quit 9 to 5 and start a side hustle using your tech background. So I could use one or two more words, but I actually fit a lot of the keywords I wanted. So all I'm going to do is save and wait a little bit until this product ranks for all these keywords. So I'm going to go save changes. Now I actually got a little error that says my title cannot be longer than 70 characters. So I actually edited it and I'm going to paste the way it is. So I abbreviated a little bit. I said programmer education. So I still have that major keyword here, education, and then business and entrepreneurship for course for engineers. So I took out the word software, but I have the word software here. So it's all right. And then I'm going to save this. And I'm going to wait a little bit and check every once in a while in the marketplace. Just search for these keywords and see if you come up. Sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes it takes half a day or a day, but you'll start ranking for all these keywords, and then more people will start seeing you right away because you're going to start appearing in more searches. And once that happens, even though you don't have great product metrics, like your product gravity is still 0, everything is still 0, but when people click on your page, that page should be very compelling. So we're going to go and clean that up next. Landing page of my product. It's an okay landing page. It's not great. What's going to make it better? Well, the first one is the title. Let's make the title better. Business and Entrepreneurship for Engineers course. Well, it doesn't make great English sense or grammar. We might get rid of this word course or restructure the title in some way to make it more attractive. So what will make things more attractive is, when is this going to happen? Like, headlines are like lose weight in 30 days. So maybe I can promise start a business, get ready to start a business now, or something like that. Also, you see this image, this link here, enroll in the course for $10. It looks a little bit out of place design wise. So I need to contact my designer and get them to help me a little bit. And the structure of the page looks like, the design is not great. I kind of just put some elements together, so I've got to clean it up. Then the copy that I wrote, meaning the text, is not bad, I would say. Become more than an employee, turn yourself into a successful founder and CEO, and turn your ideas into a successful business. And then I tell people what they get. I tell people about me. I have a video here that I'm going to get rid of the volume, but you can see like my video is not really great. I can redo it because my background looks a little dark and gloomy and I've got kind of a shadow on my face. So the video can also be better. Then what you'll learn in the course, a little bit more about what people will get, about support and the ClickBank disclaimer. So I could add another call to action to buy at the end. That's another good idea. Because if people scroll, now when they get here, they have nothing to do. So actually, if I had a button like buy now, that would be better. So is this the worst page in the world? No, it doesn't look particularly scammy like maybe a lot of the other products on ClickBank look like. Like they just look a little weird and fishy. This one looks legitimate. It's for engineers. I could explain more my background, maybe how I used to be an engineer and how I understand what engineers go through. I think that would make a lot more sense, and how I became a business person. So I'm not just somebody who talks about it. I've done it, and then I help others go through the same process. So this would make it more attractive, and then that's essentially it. So your product page is going to be ready, and you're going to be discoverable on ClickBank. Now you're going to need to boost your ClickBank listing a little more so that people take a little more interest in the listing. What I mean by that is essentially this is the course, and what I need to do is start adding like my vendor spotlight. Then I need to add a little more other things. Maybe I need to figure out how to add recurring billing to the listing so that it has this little icon which attracts a lot of people. Maybe I need to work out my pricing. Maybe I need to have 1 or 2 or 3 affiliates start promoting that I recruit on my own so that it doesn't say NA here, because that looks very unattractive, and many other things. including more kinds of support, more affiliate tools. And what that's going to do, every one of these little elements will improve the amount of interest that new affiliates will have for my product, for my listing, and they'll engage more. And the more they'll engage and the more keywords I'll rank for, the more I'll be able to recruit affiliates in an automated fashion, which is really what we're after. As we start thinking about how we can recruit affiliates organically through ClickBank, we have to start looking at our listing and figuring out what's going to make it look more appealing and attractive. And the very first thing is, of course, average per sale before it makes any sales is non-applicable, NA. Because you see the other products, they have an average per sale. In our case, even if we make sales, it's never going to be particularly attractive because it's a $10 sale at now. And even though this metric is attractive, 75% commission, that's a good one because some people might search by high commission rates and we might get discovered by that. But what we don't have is when people click on this, you see it's only $10. So they're going to make $7.50 at most on every sale. And it's not a big number. It's not particularly attractive to strong affiliates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the exact opposite extreme of another offer that is for a very, very high priced product. Here's an example of that offer. What is it? I'll explain it. It's an e-learning business franchise. Basically what it is it's a service I provide where I build an e-learning website for people. I put my courses on their website. I help them sell it. I do everything. So overnight they get an e-learning business. It's a franchise. What that does is it's expensive. It's labor intensive for me, not only to create the website, but also obviously it took me years to create these courses. So the prices are as such. Here's the programs and rates, and you can see the basic one is like I make a website for people and give them 10 courses and provide ongoing coaching, and that's like a $5,000 thing, and it goes up to $15,000, but they get a lot more. They get a lot of coaching. Why coaching? Coaching is for the purpose of making my offer also recurring billing. So the affiliate, they will see, oh, let's say I can offer, let's say for this $5,000 sale, I can offer 50% for the affiliate. So they'll make, for one sale, they'll make $2,500, which is incredible. But not only that, I mean, they can make $7,500 from one sale. So that's really incredible, but that it doesn't end there because the coaching is ongoing, they'll get more commissions moving forward. As long as that client stays a part of my coaching program, they're going to keep getting monthly revenue on top of the initial big chunk of money they earned. Now, so this is very attractive potentially. The only problem is it's incredibly difficult for anyone to sell something for $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000. So almost no affiliates will sell something like this successfully because you really have to have a tremendously engaged audience who really, really already want this. It's not a widget that you can say, oh, this is cool, buy it for $10. No, it's the opposite. It takes somebody to really, really want this business. They have to have thought about it for a long time. They have to have planned the budget. It's not an overnight decision. It's really hard to sell. So that's the other extreme, is that even though this is incredibly attractive to affiliates, it's incredibly difficult to sell. And so you might not ever get a lot of sales for this or any sales from ClickBank precisely because it's just so difficult to sell. So in the next video, what we'll do is we'll take a look at what kinds of things will make your offers more attractive and find a good middle ground for what exactly you should aim for in your offer. Now that we've taken a look at some of the affiliate offers from vendors that have some pros and cons, let's take a look at some of the most effective ones that are selling the most. And so what we're going to do is we're going to change the gravity to 100. So it's going to be only products that have gravity over 100. You see, it's only 15 such products. Not many products. We're going to be able to examine all of them and see what is the unifying factor. And we'll see that some are in like health and fitness. Health and fitness is going to repeat here. You got health and fitness here again. Some spirituality, some self-help, health and fitness. So it's a lot of like things that is for everyone. A lot of universal products, first of all, that's one unifying thing. But there's also some business products. If we go to like page 2, you've got this e-business and e-marketing and one e-business and e-marketing. And you see the average sale is not a tremendously high average sale usually. If I scroll through these, they're, you know, in the 20 to like usually from $20 to $40 range. That's approximately the range. So it does, your product doesn't have to really sell for too much money. But what it does have to do, that when I researched this ahead of time, what I saw about these is that they have high conversion rates for their sales pages. And the conversion rates really start here, because when you look at all of these, their vendor listings look very good. They all have a vendor spotlight. When you look at the things they offer, a lot of them offer recurring revenue, which I talk about often. You see recurring revenue, recurring. So it's a lot of recurring. Also, you have generally very high commission rates. So you'll see average per sale 74%, 69%, 75%, 80%, 86%. You see very generous. That's a unifying factor. Very generous in commission, recurring billing. And what you'll see also is that the conversion rates are high, and they actually talk about it. A lot of these guys, if you read, I'm not going to make you read through all their little blurbs here, but they talk about high conversions. I don't know if this is true, and you don't know if this is true either. At least at this point, we don't know if it's true. So, but they say this to convince potential affiliates to give it a try. So just like in a different part of this course, we talk about how to add keywords here. What you want to do is take the major points here, which is something like converts conversions plus 75% commission, optimized funnel for like 11% conversions, which is 11% conversion is typically a very high conversion rate. Like 5% conversion rate would be great, typically for an e-commerce product, especially when it's priced this way. So I don't know if this is true at this point, but at the same time, they get your attention with these really good highlights. It tells you what kind of traffic it converts. So if you have a certain kind of traffic already, then that's great, because it might be a match. Some of these sometimes say that it converts to cold traffic. Some of these give you some highlights, for example, like over $1 million paid in affiliates. Okay, that's attractive, right? Not many people can say that. Is it true? I don't know if you can verify that, but they say these things. And another thing that people say is, a lot of them say they have a highly optimized funnel that pays you $290 per sale, potentially up to, right? See, obviously, it's not totally that, because that's the average. But so let's take a look at this, for example, and let's see what it's like. How to magically manifest real spendable cash. Okay, so they're like magic making money. Okay, it looks like a lot of these offers here, they're kind of like, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is, and it's a little scammy, spammy. Like, I wouldn't promote something like this, but at the same time, it looks like a well put together sales page. Like, it has a video. The video is going to be probably well made. I'm going to play it for just a couple of seconds, just so we can see the quality. My sound is off, so you can't hear, but see, it's actually like relatively okay, nicely made. It's not a terrible video. And you see it has reviews, which help to improve conversion. Can they be just fake reviews? Of course, they handpicked these reviews, maybe wrote it themselves, who knows, like Mallory E. Probably fake, but reviews typically help to improve conversion. And so they got maybe too many reviews, and then they got more reviews, and they got all this kind of stuff, and regular price is high, today you get it low, typical sales stuff, and that's the end of the page. So would I buy this? Never in the world. Do other people who are maybe beginners would fall for this kind of pseudo scam spam type of offer? At least how I see it? Sure, they do. And you can see that because they have an incredible gravity score. So they're doing something right. And what I do is also maybe look at some of the guys who maybe are just starting out. So like, let's look at like people who have gravity like this. And maybe since we've been doing a lot of business, let's do business. And let's see what these guys have in common. So gravity of 15 is still pretty good. You got a lot of affiliates promoting you. It's not a gravity of over 100, but it's good. And these guys, number one, affiliate marketing tutorials, basically, or training portal. They're basically teaching affiliate marketing, daily profits. It's a lot of the same kind of stuff, like people teaching other people to make money by making money from the students. But a lot of these, what we see that they have in common is that they have generous commissions. They have great highlights they emphasize here, high conversion rates, a lot of money being made. They have a lot of like numbers and percentages that kind of make things stand out. And they have a lot of like recurring commissions. You can see this all the time. And the last thing I want to take a look at with you is, let's say like we're going to look at like business and investing, and we want to look at categories. If we look at categories, one interesting thing is that there's not a lot of high sellers in some categories. So between 15 and 25, there's not a lot. So maybe let's change that to here. And the things that come up here, a lot of this Forex stuff, meaning foreign exchange trading, it's not something I'd recommend for beginners. It's not something I'd sell, but like people do. And see, they have a high average per sale, and they have generous commissions. Again, it's pretty good gravity, 30, 21, 12, pretty good. But it's the same all kind of stuff. You basically have to show the affiliates that they're going to make a lot of money, and it's going to be easy to sell, and they're going to try it out. And when they try it out, even if they make one sale, it improves the gravity. And when it improves the gravity, you look even more attractive to next affiliates, and they try you, and so on and so on and so on, until you're one of the people here who is doing pretty well. With this video, we're going to start a new section of the course, which is going to talk about recruiting affiliates outside of ClickBank. And the main reason for that is to raise your gravity score inside ClickBank. Because when you raise gravity score inside ClickBank, your offer begins to look more attractive. More affiliates that are on ClickBank begin to find you and begin to promote your product. And then you kind of get on this cruise control of passive income where you're easily able to recruit affiliates organically from ClickBank. But to bump that, to get you discovered, you need to raise your gravity score. And that's why we're going to go outside of ClickBank, and we're going to look for an initial set of bloggers, influencers to promote your offer. So the next set of videos is going to be exactly about how to do that, where to find them, how to pay them, how to pitch them, all that. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to find relatively small influencers with a little bit of traffic with websites, because with websites they're going to be accepted to ClickBank programs. Because without a website, they cannot get accepted to ClickBank programs. So bloggers are perfect. People with some audiences are perfect. And they just need to make, if they make one sale only, recall how the gravity algorithm works. If they make one sale only, that gives you a gravity score of +1. So you just need a bunch of little guys to start doing this. And if they're effective, you can start rehiring them. If they're inexpensive, they can make a few sales. You don't need a lot of sales from one. It would be great, but if one can get you a lot of sales, they'll probably be very expensive. But you just need to keep hiring them to give you a little promotion to keep bumping up your gravity, so that you have a couple, like maybe 10, 20 affiliates who always promote you, always raise your gravity, and then you're going to find new affiliates from ClickBank that way. And you can even do this at a slight loss, because you're going to be making all that money back from the new affiliates who are going to find you. And even hopefully these particular affiliates, they're actually going to get paid not only from you paying them directly, but from the affiliate program when they make commissions from sales. So hopefully it actually stays lucrative for them, so that they keep on promoting you long term. So in the next few videos, we're going to explore exactly where to find these affiliates outside ClickBank, starting like literally today. In this video, I want to show you how I would begin to look for affiliates. And what I would do is first go to Fiverr.com. So I'm on Fiverr. It's a freelancing site. Most people at this point are familiar with it. If you're not familiar, the URL is Fiverr.com. It's essentially a discounted freelancing site where you can get a lot of services done for you cheaply. As you can see, I search for promotion. What I'm going to show you is how I would look at the results. So the first one is I'll make a promotional video for you. We don't need that. We need someone who has traffic that can sell. By the way, everybody here is trying to make money, and they're all going to tell you, yes, I can make money, I can make you sales, I can do anything you want. You should be extremely skeptical. So what I'm going to show you is how I would go through this, because there's very few people here that can get you traffic and sales, but they're few and far in between. So I'm going to show you what I do. I'd search many things, but I started with promotion just because we need promotion. Then this one is I'll produce a professional video. We don't need that. I'll make a rap song to promote something. I don't need that. Now here's an interesting one. I'll promote your affiliate link to 1 million people in the USA. We'll click that and we'll explore what that is. So this person, see, for $110, they'll promote to 5 million, and for $25, they'll promote to 1 million. Now, my initial guess is that, because we're skeptical here, is that this 1 million or this 5 million, it's a garbage number. It's probably some kind of spam bot on social media, whatever. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to risk $25 to see if this person can make a sale. We're not going to buy anything yet. What we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to put a little heart so we don't forget this little heart you see, add to saved. And what we're going to do is go through a ton of these. And what we can also do is we can message them. So you can say, contact me right here, and you can ask them something like this. You see, my question is, where does your traffic come from? Which social media platform, or is it from your website? Can you tell me how you will drive traffic? What I'm trying to understand is, first of all, if they don't answer, that's a bad sign. We're not going to order. If they do answer and they give some kind of like a fuzzy answer, not a great answer or not a satisfying answer, we're not going to order. If they say, oh, my traffic is going to come from some third party, something, it's something fishy, we're not going to order. If he says something like, I have worked for a while, it's like a list I built up for a while, and if he actually shows the channels, maybe his Twitter account, maybe his Instagram, doesn't matter. Maybe he says he has got like a lot of people on his email list. First of all, if it's an email list, you will ask the next question. You'll ask, did you buy that, or are they organic? That's what you will ask. If he says it's organic, still, it might not be true, but that's the best case answer. And then it becomes worthwhile. So I'm going to actually send this and see. So if it's worthwhile, you might risk the $25. So initially, see, this will be investments in, maybe this will make its money back, but also maybe it will help to bump up your gravity score. So as we keep going down, right? This person will make a hip hop video. We don't need that. Promotional video. Commercial, we don't need that. Promotional. SoundCloud, we don't need that. Promote your post to my 500,000 people. Okay, interesting now, right? Let's click that and see. So there's not a lot of orders on this gig, only 3. So this is very new. Let's see what we get for $10. Promote one of your posts for 48 hours. So they promote your post. So what you would say is, you would ask them, in this case, you would say something like this. I would need you to make the post yourself. Maybe they can post on their site and sign up as an affiliate on ClickBank for my program. Would you be able to do that? I'm not going to send that now, but if they say yes, then that's great. You also should ask them where their traffic comes from. And basically what you need to do is you need to get everybody here, people who say yes and who look credible. You basically need to put a little heart so you can collect the people who you can potentially work with. So you're going to put a little heart so you'll have all those profiles saved. And you can find like literally probably 1,000 people on this site like this, right? Because if you go social media marketing, you see on the categories that I did, you'll see I will promote your product hunt, on 24 hours, or somebody else. Promote your business through Facebook ads. Maybe not Facebook ads like this, but maybe I'll promote your blog. Okay, affiliate link. So maybe you'll ask them, basically if they promote your affiliate link, what you need to email them and ask them is, can they actually make a ClickBank account, and can they sign up for your program and then promote that link? And if they can do that, basically you go, okay, maybe these guys will do that, right? So you'll essentially, these are small financial tests, right? You'll be spending $10 on having this test, which is really a relatively negligible amount. If you're promoting something as a vendor, you can make a lot of money long term. So this is something that might be a worthwhile investment to play around with. A lot of these will make no sales. You should expect that. This is usually like a lot of miss. But if you get a hit, you can hire them a lot over time, and you'll be able to build up a library and a list of contacts who you can hire over time. And you see, I mean, there's like, just in these categories, there's over like 10,000 services that can promote things. So there's no shortage. Just before you order, make sure they're okay with signing up for ClickBank to take your program, and that they can run a promotion. You have to vet that before you get their order. When you get their order, if they have those clear instructions and they make those sales, at least a few sales, right? Then it gives you a bump in your gravity score. And if they are actually profitable, you can keep hiring them purely profitably. But also, if they bump up your gravity score, you'll begin to get a lot of sales on ClickBank from actual natural affiliates finding you. And that way, you'll be able to keep hiring the Fiverr people to continuously keep up your gravity score. And the gravity score will stay up and continuously get you new affiliates from ClickBank. So this will be the best of all worlds. You almost will never exhaust this. So you can spend so much time here. And as long as you become better at finding people who are effective at sales, this can almost be enough. It's going to be very annoying, and it's going to be very time consuming in the beginning. There's going to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of messaging, a lot of everything. Just, you have to weather that storm, stay patient. If you stay patient, you'll find so many people who can promote you that this can be enough to raise your gravity score a lot of points into the double digits, and maybe even triple digits if you keep sticking with it. But you don't need to go to triple digits. As long as you hit like double digits, 20, 30, that's a fantastic gravity score where you'll get a lot of potential affiliates on ClickBank seeing you and beginning to promote you. In this video, I want to give you a small checklist to keep in mind as you keep researching and browsing different sellers on Fiverr. So something to look for in sellers: many reviews on their gig so that it's proven, and many reviews across their profile. So you click on their profile and you read a little bit about their bio, what other gigs they offer. Just check them out, see that they are a proven seller. You want them to have an over 4.8 star rating. Otherwise, on Fiverr, ratings are inflated a little bit for some reason, I don't know, but most people have like a 4.9 or 5.0 or 4.8. If they have like a 4.6, 4.5, something is not exactly right. So don't get sellers with too low of a rating. Make sure when you message them, they're responsive and they're eager to help you, and the answers they give, they seem honest. You never really know, like, you know, they know what's their traffic like, and they can kind of lie about it, but as long as they don't seem too blatantly like just grubby and just want to take cash and run, I think that passes at least that test. And they don't cut corners growing their audiences, and this is something you can sort of gauge when you ask them a couple of questions. And the perfect audiences to go for are, you know, people who have an email list, but email list which is not purchased, but organically grown, and people who have their own blogs or websites. That's really good. And also, social media is a little bit less good. The audience sometimes can be bought, like Twitter followers can be bought and all that stuff. And also, sometimes the social media audience isn't as engaged. And also, if they only have a social media audience but no website, they might have trouble applying and getting accepted to ClickBank. So that's an issue. So make sure that when you look for people, you're patient. Most people are going to not get hired. If you're hiring more than 50% of the people you're looking at, it's probably you're too accepting. You should be more skeptical. So you got to be patient. It's going to be a very annoying process. And you got to use a variety of searches, like maybe YouTube marketing, see which YouTubers might be a fit. Blog marketing, maybe see some bloggers who might be a fit. Not just people who will write you a blog article, but people who have a blog and they can post an article on their site, they can promote it on their blog and maybe get some sales. Or maybe you can search Fiverr for keywords like traffic or sales. Just be resourceful when searching. I showed you how to look at throughout the categories, but you can also use a variety of different searches and you'll find different sellers. And when you find them, explain them what you need. You need 3 things. They need to make a ClickBank profile. They need to sign up on ClickBank to your affiliate program, and they need to promote that program. So you don't have to all explain that in one step. First, see where their traffic comes from, then see if they're okay with making a ClickBank profile. So it takes a little bit of communication back and forth. If you email this all to them at once, they'll get confused possibly. Just keep it one message at a time so it's clear. A lot of them are, maybe their English is not the first language, so keep it clear for them. Keep that conversation flowing and progressing. Don't give them everything at once, and don't send too many messages too frequently, especially if they're identical messages to sellers, because Fiverr might give you a limit on the messages you can send, or people might report you, who knows, and they might do something to your account like ban you or block you. So just send maybe 10 or 20 messages a day, but not more than that, and just keep looking for people over time. Be very careful how you message people. Make sure that they don't report you. Make sure that your messages to them don't put them off, so they don't flag your messages, things like this. And when you find sellers who are effective, then you keep a separate list of effective sellers, and that's like a well. You're going to be able to go back to that well for your affiliate sales, for anything else you promote in the future. Those guys, they can get hired and they can get you sales. So you keep a very separate list of amazing sellers who can help you promote, and anything you promote from now on, you'll be able to go back to them. So that's a little checklist for you, just to make sure that you're organized when you are pitching and recruiting affiliates on Fiverr. In this video, I got something funny to show you. Remember this Fiverr seller who promised to promote your product to 1 million people? Well, I actually contacted them and got into a conversation. So if you contact me, if you click contact me, it goes right to the chat. And this is the chat that person and I had. And I'll actually, let me see if I can make it bigger. I'll show you exactly what we discussed. So I sent this question: where does your traffic come from? Which social media platform or your site? Tell me how much traffic you can drive. And this person, that's the first red flag, right? Social channel. Like, that's kind of like, a dumb answer, right? So then I ask, which social channels? Can you please show me? Are they yours? And then this person said, I target a group with active audience of a specific location. So Facebook, Instagram, and Quora. Okay. So, but first of all, he answered that it's not his group. If it's his group, he has total control. They listen to him. He basically goes and spams other places with random links. Like if you send him something about cooking, or the next thing you send him something about business, he'll still promote it. Or in this case, it was a woman. But it's a random audience that he's basically spamming random groups that they don't know him. So he's gonna have extremely little engagement on that. Now, next, is it your audience or you own the specific accounts? How will you be able to get 1 million people? Can you share the links or Instagram accounts? She just repeats, I share it with audiences that deal with your offer. So he finds groups, but the groups aren't his. I ask, could you give an example? These examples are from Reddit. I'll show you one of these. I'll make it bigger and show you one of these. You see, this is essentially Reddit posts. What she does is she makes these posts and she just posts this, and at the end there's a affiliate link right here at the end of the post. This is fine, except I bet this gets removed immediately. You see, this is just, you can see it's in very small font. You can see that this got 1 vote, which means that this person who posted it voted it up. Nobody else voted it up. And things like this in big Reddit groups, the community on Reddit is very fierce, and whenever they see spam or advertisement, they just jump on it and they delete it. So I'm sure this was immediately deleted, even though this particular group has a lot of people in it. I'm sure almost none of them saw it, and certainly none of them engaged with it. So let's get back to the conversations. The other screenshots are similar to this one that person sent. And so then I asked, thank you for the examples. What about the examples for Facebook and Instagram? I'm worried that Reddit posts with links will get immediately removed. And that person said no, which I don't know to which point that they were asking. But if you want to make use of Facebook, then do Facebook ads. And I said, really? But like you literally said Facebook, Instagram, and Quora. And then they sent me examples of Reddit, which are none of these. And then they're like, well, they're trying to explain to me the difference between Facebook posts and ads. So this is kind of like a scammer at this point, right? 1 second earlier, they said, I'm going to promote you on Facebook. Now they're saying you have to pay if you want to get promotion on Facebook, right? You have to pay beyond this gig. And now, of course, you would never hire this person. After this point in the conversation, you will never hire this person. This is somewhere that is an overlap of a scammer and a liar and a very, very, very junior person. Okay, that's the best things I can say about this provider. Really, it's just going to be a waste of money. It's basically what they're doing is stealing money, as they're providing like literally no value. You wouldn't engage, but just because I knew I was going to make a video showing this, I'm going to show you the rest of the conversation, which there wasn't a lot of extra conversation, but I just want to show you that there's no point going further. Like once you see a few red flags, that's it, done. So basically I said, so in this gig, you will only promote on Reddit. And then they're like basically going in circles. No, the channel's above. And like literally a second ago, they told me that those cost extra because you need ads. And I said, you listed Facebook, but then you told me you need ads, so you wouldn't promote on Facebook. I told you if you will have interest in ads or not. I don't know. I don't have any idea. And then they're like, whatever. They're just basically telling you whatever you want to hear, but he didn't answer. He didn't provide good examples of effective posts that are going to generate any traffic. And you can kind of see evidence of this because if you go to their reviews, you will see that some people, like this person, they're like, so far the promotion provided no result in traffic, no sales. The other people, I don't know if they're real, I don't know anything, but I wouldn't do business with this kind of person. And so for that reason also, and you see this person only has 14 reviews, so they're a new seller. You usually, like, you kind of want to give new people benefit of a doubt, but in generally, you want to also be careful that you just don't fall into people who lie or scam. So just be careful. You see how very basic questions that I asked them, they just couldn't answer them properly, or the answers they provided showed me that I don't even want this promotion. Like I wouldn't even, like for free, I wouldn't bother. So then you just move on. So most people will be like this because it is Fiverr. Okay, most people are just trying to make a buck. But if you're patient enough, you will get to some good sellers. I have had experience with really good sellers who are able to generate good sales. Like for example, when I was promoting my ebook, I had like a really good ebook seller. He had a legitimate email list, and so it is possible. I know from experience it is possible, but you really need to be patient when looking for people. And you see, maybe I got a little frustrated with this person. They're like a time waster. So don't be like me. Try to be patient, and you will get good resellers. After you've looked for potential marketers to promote your ClickBank affiliate link on freelancing sites like Fiverr, or there's another site called Upwork.com that's also very popular to find. There's a similar process to find that. The next place you'd go is Google, and you search for something like technology blog. I've done that here. And you see the top technology blog like TechCrunch, Mashable, Engageit. Don't even bother with those guys. Those guys, they're not going to promote anything. What you want are small to mid-level blogs, because the bigger blogs, even blogs that are very popular tech blogs like run by one person, they're not going to promote random affiliate things. And even if they are, it's going to cost like thousands of dollars for their marketing to advertise. So it's just not going to be a good match. But what you want to do is collect tech blogs that are run by techies, people who are techies. And the reason that I'm using that example is because the course I'm selling is course of how to become a business person if you're a software engineer. If you're selling weight loss products, or if you're selling something else, obviously you would look for something else. But from my example, this is a good fit. Technology blogs. Now, Business Insider, not a good fit. The Verge, TechCrunch, Wired, these are all gigantic. So I'm going to look here, gigantic. These are all too gigantic. I'm getting the picture here, gigantic. I'm just going to back out of this, and I'm going to keep looking. And what I'm going to do is basically, these are all too big. I need to go to like really down the page. Computer World, still too big. Medium, still too big. Garland Technology Blog, okay, still too big, but getting there. Okay, Galido, I don't know what this is. So let's look at it. IT blog. And when you look at it, when you come in contact with something you don't know, you see, you have to explore it, and I don't know it. So what I might do is I might look at their blog. You see, they have an option for you to submit a guest post. You don't want to submit one. You want essentially sites that are run by one or two people who are going to be able to sign up for ClickBank and to promote you. So this might not be it. So instead of technology, see, technology was a little bit too broad. So what we want to do is, instead of technology, let's like look at some technology that's popular. So like PHP blog. PHP is a programming language. And what we're going to do is find blogs that are made by PHP enthusiasts. Interesting. phpenthusiast.com. So this PHP enthusiast, if it's run by a single person, and you can learn this, you can click on about, and it's this guy, Joseph. He probably is not going to want to promote any kind of spammy product, but you know what? Something that's interesting, like a course for how programmers can become business people and entrepreneurs, that actually might be of interest, right? Because he's neck deep in technology, but maybe he'd be interested in this. And we can actually look, he has an ebook. So let's see, I'm sure the ebook maybe is something about like how to do PHP programming. So yeah, sure, it's a PHP programming book. So we know he's kind of a creative entrepreneur. He's trying to make money with this. And maybe we'll see, can we pay him or can we do anything for him to promote? So the next thing we would do, we would learn a little bit about him, and then we would want to contact him. You've got this contact us, and you would message him. I'm going to skip ahead. I'm going to write the message, and I'm going to skip ahead, and we'll examine what I'd say to him together. Here's what I wrote. Let's go over it together. I added my name, my email, that's standard. And then I wrote, "Hi, Joseph. I'm a fellow engineer turned entrepreneur like yourself, so I'm building a little rapport, not too much." And then I skip ahead. I add white space so that it's readable, and I get to my next point. I have built an online course that teaches software engineers to become entrepreneurs and helps them gain entrepreneurship skills, and I link to the course so you can see. In this case, I'm linking to Udemy. It doesn't matter where you link, because if he is interested, you'll explain to him the whole deal about ClickBank and all that stuff and whatever. But in the beginning, this is just a clean link to somewhere you can link to. You can link to whatever is the best place that he can just basically get a sense for what that is. And then here's your pitch. I'm doing some promotion for the course, obviously. Would you be open to doing a bit of cross promotion, or maybe accept, and I can say cross promotion with your book, or maybe accept payment for promoting my course to your audience, something like that. It's kind of short and sweet. I build rapport, I get the point across, he knows exactly what I want, and I'm offering two incentives. I'm offering him marketing, cross-promotion, and I'm offering him straight-up payment. And you can also be more specific, like you can say, I can promote you on my YouTube channel, my podcast, if you have a podcast, anything like that. So you should think about what might be interesting for him. And I'm obviously not going to send this. Actually, why not? Let's see what happens. If he replies, I'll post his reply back. So actually, let me submit this. So we contacted him. Let's see what happens. Then when we look at what he does, we can research more about him and get his interest and see what might be interesting for him to offer him. In this case, we're not going to spend too long because we want to get back to Google so we can look for more blogs. So we're back on our PHP blog search. And, what was this one? Like code with AWA. I don't know what this is. So we'll click on it and we'll look at it too. And we got this, it's just a straight up blog. If we contact, who do we contact? Just a form. We can write this form. In this case, we don't really know who's AWA or AWA. So we know very little. We can tell the recency of the posts. Sometimes we're able to tell that. Sometimes it's not. So you just email them and then you move on to the next one. And this one wasn't particularly clear. Now we got the serendipity. Let's look at the serendipity. Now this looks a little more organized, but let's see. I think they're trying to sell us something here. So we're not going to use this. Then Dave is my name, that blog. So this Dave, now this Dave looks like he quit the blog, right? So it looks like there's some things from 2014 here, 2015. So, okay, it looks like a dead blog. Maybe he quit. So it looks like there's not that many PHP blogs because we kind of lose people really quickly. So you see, a lot of this is just low quality sites we get to pretty quickly. So what happens is there's also this page, top 50 blogs for PHP, and this might be very interesting. So some of these might be professional, like from the PHP organization, Planet PHP. So this is too much for us. But some of these might be interesting. Who knows? Once we go down PHP classes, maybe that's a little bit too corporate. And if we go down, we'll see maybe some are owned by business, single entrepreneurs, and then we can contact them and work out some relationship with them. And guess what? When I do PHP, when I run out of PHP, I go Python, which is a programming language, and you can go like every programming technology in the world, right? And then you'll also almost never run through all of these because there's just so many technologies. So you can basically go through these, form business relationships with them, and then see, can they promote you? Most of them will not. Most of them will not be a fit. So this is going to test your patience, but that's a small price to pay to bump up your standing in ClickBank so that affiliates can find you there and start promoting you. So this is how you would find an almost unlimited number of bloggers with a website who can start promoting your affiliate link. In this video, I'll share with you the results of me running a little test of trying to recruit existing contacts. These are good business contacts, experienced entrepreneurs who I've known for a while. So they trust me, I trust them, we work well together. They're existing contacts, and I tried to get them or to understand their appetite for promoting my affiliate program. And the test I ran was I asked 2 people, not a big test, but it was an interesting test and it gave some results. So one said no, one said yes. When I got a no, I asked, is there anything that you think that would make it possible to make this a yes? And that person said probably no. They were very inclined to say no. If you see someone like that, that's cool, move on. One said yes, and actually it was easier than I thought it would be. I thought I would have to say, well, what if I do this? What if I do that? What if I change it? They just agreed right away. And I was like, okay, that's almost too nice, right? You kind of expect people to give you some pushback, like they like this thing, they don't like that thing. And what does that go to show you? Well, if you ask enough people, if you ask too few people, you might get a sense like it's not working. But if you keep asking, some people obviously say yes. And my pitch was very basic. The key for me was to make it basic, honest, and clear. All it is I said to them, hey, I have a new affiliate program. It's a course that's a fit for your audience. Interestingly, the person who said yes, it was a better fit for their audience. That course of business for engineers, that was a really close fit for their audience, but not the first person who said no. So sometimes the product itself really has to match whoever you're pitching it to. If their audience is a great match for it, that's perhaps the best barometer of whether they'll do it, if it makes sense for their audience. That's maybe one of the most underestimated things about this whole thing. And so when you pitch people, some questions to ask are like, is it the kind of thing you ever promoted? Are you open to it? And what is your audience like? What kind of audience is it exactly? And then you can see, is it a match for you? So that if it is a match, you can explain, hey, it is a great match. And if it's not a match, you can understand what kind of influencers or business contacts to pitch in the future so that it is more of a match. So that's essentially it. It's not a great study, but it's a couple of case studies with results. One is going to promote it. So we got a yes and a no. So the takeaway is, number one, make sure that whoever you ask, that their audience really is a great match for your product or whatever you're promoting, and that you are persistent and you ask a lot of people and not just get a couple of no's and quit. After you've gone through freelancing sites like Fiverr.com or Upwork.com and you've contacted your business contacts, Another way to look for people to promote your affiliate product is to basically look for them online, and you can search for something like hire influencers. And what we're looking for is there are some influencer marketing agencies and sites that aggregate influencers. For example, like you see, we search this, some of the items will make sense for us and some won't. For example, this is just an article with tips, so we don't need that. But this one is an agency, YouTube influencer marketing program, and we can come here and we can look at the pricing. Although here the pricing isn't that apparent, like you have to go through some forms, and I bet it's not that cheap because it is going to be, it's an agency. But you can go through a few of these and open influence, see what you can get. You get like these influencer marketing services. This way you can find a lot of people, right? You don't have to just search for hire influencers. You can like buy tweets and you can search for that. And of course, some things will come up like Fiverr.com, but here's like buy likes services, right? And you can see what's here on a site like this and see if it's right for you. You can see buy like pretty cheaply. You can buy all this stuff. The thing to keep in mind that's really important here in this case is that even though you can find many sites like this and on each site there are many potential influencers, finding them is not an issue. The challenge is you have a unique situation. You don't have a link that you can send them like to your site to promote. You have to make them create a ClickBank account and then create their own Hoplink and then promote that Hoplink. So there's extra instructions you have to give to the influencers, and that might not be possible with some of these websites. So it's going to take you a little extra patience, a little extra communication, but before you hire anyone, you have to either contact support of these sites or the influencers themselves and see, is this something that can be done on this platform? Because like, for example, this, let's say Red Social, do we know what it is? No, it's just like we're finding it for the first time. So you and I would have to basically click it, see what it is exactly, and explore it. And if it's a match for what we need, then you see like, okay, we're buying 50 retweets for $1. Sounds good, but from who and how, and can they? It shouldn't be a retweet. It should be their own link, because the original tweet should contain their own Hoplink, not our existing one. So there's all these kinds of issues that come up. So you have to explore these sites and be careful what you're buying, because it's easy to spend money, but you want to spend it smartly. So be a little bit patient with who you choose to work with and make sure that, yes, they can. Basically, the requirement is always make a ClickBank account, sign up for my program there, promote that link. If they can do it, this is worthwhile to experiment with all of them, as long as they're not too expensive. And if you find one that's selling, note them and keep on going back to them to keep rehiring them every once in a while. Because remember, your gravity score, it's time sensitive. So if you don't get sales, the gravity score goes down and you must keep it up. So the sellers that can make you sales, you collect them and you keep on going back to them over time to make sure that they are going to be able to keep on maintaining your high gravity score. So that's it. That's pretty much how you find almost an unlimited number of influencers online by looking for them on Google and influencer marketing sites. In this video, I want to show you really quickly how you can get support on any issue and how you can have any question answered, because I can give you some instructions, but there's no way that I can predict any kind of questions or confusion you may have. So ClickBank actually has very good support. What you do is click on support right from their homepage, and then you go to vendor support, and you can read all their articles. I recommend you browse through them, of course, but you can submit a request and just generate an email to them. And they really usually reply within 24 business hours. They're very good, very helpful. I've had really good experience with their support, and they can help you. They can help direct you any kind of question you have. They'll answer it for you. So definitely use this. They actually do a good job helping you with this. In this video, I'm going to explain something relatively simple that can be confusing, and that is, what is a Hoplink? How can you create a Hoplink? And you might be told, create a Hoplink, or you might instruct somebody else, join my affiliate program and create a Hoplink. How do you instruct them to create this Hoplink? So I'm on this marketplace, I search for business, I see random offers. What's a Hoplink? It's basically, you click this link, promote. two things might happen. They might say you need to apply to promote our program, or there's no application necessary. So if I click here, these guys will say this vendor requires affiliates to be pre-approved. So you go to this thing and you get pre-approved. Okay, so you cannot yet make a Hoplink before you're pre-approved. But if I scroll to the second one and I say promote, they're going to allow me. So all you do is it puts your account name in there already, and then you can give it your tracking ID, like for example, so you would know like it's from YouTube. And then you say generate Hoplinks, and it will get you the Hoplink so you can start promoting that product. It's that simple. Hoplink is just a URL. You see, basically that's all it is. That's what you get. When an affiliate seller puts that on their site or wherever and somebody else clicks on it and makes a purchase, then you get the credit for, then that affiliate gets the credit and commission for that sale. That's Hoplinks. It's that easy.